All right, in this video, we're looking at distributive property. Real quick review, distributive property. Number one, simplify. You're going to multiply -3 times -6 and a -3 times the next term. Now, again, I would change subtraction to adding the opposite. So -3 times -6 is 18. That's a positive 18 plus -3 times -8x is a positive 24x. They are not like terms, so you just let it as 18 plus 24x. You could switch the order. You could put 24x plus 18. That would also be correct. Number three, 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 4x is 20x. No problem, distributive property. You have multiplication outside the parentheses, and inside you could have addition, or you could even have subtraction inside, like we had in the first one. All right, let's move on. Let's look down here. Number 6. Here we're distributing the x. X times -2x is -2, and x times x is x to the second power. X times 4 is 4x, and the addition sign comes down, -2x squared plus 4x. Oh, what else can we look at? Number 11, -22x times 4x. -22 times 4 is -88. You could probably do that in your head. X times x is x squared. Plus -22x times the 2.5. I'm going to pause, use my calculator. I use my calculator to multiply the -22 times 2.5, which gives me a -55. But remember, there's also an x right here we multiplied with. So you have two terms, -88x squared plus the -55x. You cannot add those because these are not like terms. Now look, they both have x's, but the first term has x and an exponent of 2, x squared. So they're not like terms. All right, next problem we'll look at. Let's go to number 13. Distribute. So you have an r here with the -3/5. So you multiply this times 4/9. Remember how to multiply fractions together. All you got to do is multiply numerators and numerators together, denominators and denominators. Unless you see you can simplify, 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Now you take 1 times 4 and get 4. 5 times 3 get 15. And a negative times a positive is a -4/15. So it'd be -4/15. Remember, there's an r there and an r next to it. Plus the -3/5 times 4r. So now I go off to the side, -3/5 multiplied by 4, which is 4/1. You multiply the numerators together, you get -12. Multiply the denominators, you get a 5. You get -12/5. 5 goes into 12 twice. That's 10. Remainder of 2/5. So you get -2 and 2/5. And then you have the r's. R times r is r squared. So let me erase this circle. If I can get that erased here, there we go. And I should circle this whole thing. -4/15 r plus -2 and 2/5 r squared. So just be careful multiplying with fractions, okay? Remember, there's some variables involved here too. There's a variable right in here, there's a variable here. So when you go to multiply and distribute, don't just look at the fractions, look at the variable too. And you may use calculators to multiply the fractions together. Just make sure they're simplified in your final answer. Right? All right, good luck with those.